Hey guys, for today's video I decided I'm going to talk about haircuts just because my dad and my dog got a haircut today, and obviously that's the most important thing on my mind right now, not the hurricane that just ripped up the coast or the explosion in Lebanon or anything that actually matters. Haircuts is what's on my mind. So, my opinion of haircuts is that basically they're necessary, and for me, it's worth the money to get an actual haircut as opposed to trying to do things yourself. I know a lot of guys, especially when I was in college and stuff, that would insist on just buying a trimmer and buzzing each other's hair, which usually I guess comes out fine. But at the end of the day, there's something that is just significantly better about having someone that's professionally trained or has like significant experience giving haircuts, style your hair in such a way that it will have a style at all rather than just be a buzz cut or something like that. And I guess that's more of a guy specific idea. For girls, obviously you need someone with some kind of experience to cut your hair because there is no such thing as really a buzz cut, or I guess if you're doing just a trim, but even then to just trim your own hair or have someone with very little experience trim your hair seems like a risky endeavor to me. The other big thing on haircuts that always kind of crosses my mind is anytime you go to a haircut, a lot of times they'll ask, "Oh, do you want your hair washed?" Or maybe that's just a guy thing, not sure. Um, they'll ask if you want your hair washed, and it just never makes sense to me why you would take the time to get your hair washed at the hairdresser unless you like really have something significant going on that day, like an interview, a meeting, something along those lines. But if you don't have any plans for the day, you know you're going to shower later that day. And most people even go out of their way to plan their shower around getting a haircut. And again, this might be a guy specific thing because, the guy can kind of just. My girlfriend's shaking her head at me. I'm sure she'll yell at me for my opinion on all this later. But for now, I'm standing by it that there's no point in getting your hair washed after a haircut or before the haircut or anything like that if you're a guy, unless I guess if you have like significant product in your hair, if you're kind of guy that uses a bunch of mousse or something like that, sure, for their sake they'll probably want to wash your hair. In the same vein is having them add product to your hair after the haircut because of the same logic that almost at least any guy I know always gets a shower or takes a shower the day to get a haircut to wash all the hair off their body because it's pokey and stabby and will ruin your entire life if you are walking around for days with buzzed little pieces of hair on your back and neck. So getting the product in your hair, even if you're doing stuff that day, for example, whenever I get a haircut, usually I get a haircut and then I go like grocery shopping or something along those lines. No one really cares about how perfectly styled your hair is during that time. Again, big difference if you're actually going out and have a meeting or an interview or something like that. But for the average day-to-day person getting a haircut, who usually has the common sense to get a haircut a couple days in advance of any major event, then those like extra services they do just make no sense to me. Last one I'll complain about as far as going to the hairdresser is whenever I go, they always ask, "Oh, do you want your beard trimmed?" And this might seem counterintuitive based on my prior arguments, but for a guy to only get his beard trimmed as often as he gets his hair cut would just be a significant difference in how his beard looks. For me personally, I need to groom or trim my beard at least once a week to get it to look decent, like the way it does, to keep it the style it is. If I were to let my beard grow out for a month, it would be radically fluctuating between like a very close tight beard to like a longer curly beard. So if a guy is strictly relying on the hairdresser to cut his beard every time he cuts his hair, it just seems inefficient. So I assume most guys have some way that they groom or style their beard. Don't have a lot of experience asking guys with beards about that because most guys, and the few guys I do know that have beards, either do what I do and they have a trimmer, or it's so long they just don't maintain it at all, and the once a month thing works for them because long is just long at a certain point. So yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, all my opinion on haircuts. Very guy-centric in this video, but maybe I'll ask my girlfriend about female haircut advice and see what she says about it so that you all can stay informed, all you many, many viewers that aren't my girlfriend right now. And with that, I'm going to wrap the video up here. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.